Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another, this stuff. So we're gonna be reading four animes. We're gonna be reading four video games this time. We got Edmon, Missile Command, Rogue, and Tempest. I've only played Missile Command, so I only give my final thoughts on Missile Command. I'm just gonna read the other three without any hesitation. This is what they look like. So yeah. So let's start off with Edmon. In the 1970s, the original. Actually, no, let's make sure I don't lose myself. In the original adventure games, passed freely from computer to computer, picking up contributors from Greeks along the way. This early spirit of community paved the way to Emon, Donald Brown's text-based adventure series that combines stats driven combat and head scratching interactive fictional. Brown started the franchise by creating the tutorial adventure in the main hall, which served as the characters' home base from their players could swap floppies. Oh, yeah, this is from a computer because apparently it's developed by fucking Apple! I didn't know Apple was a thing in 1980. Jesus Christ. Containing new adventures designed by Brown or by anyone else who cared to chip in. So apparently this game is made by Apple. I don't know why. It's a text adventure game, which we haven't done that anything like that. Excuse me, my apologies. The Erman community wrote almost 250 adventures spanning genre and idiom. I think that's what it is. The quality of these adventures varies read, by fans publishing lengthy newsletters that read reviews and kept one another appraised of what was out there. While in the dark age of dial-up moderns, new adventures were shared on bulletin boards. The game itself certainly feels quality from another era, but Aaron's true legacy, as I lose my fucking voice, uh, lies in the community that came together to build it. Okay? So it was released in 1980. It was made by Apple, and its genre is text adventure. Actually, I think that's the first text adventure that we had. Uh, I'm losing my fucking voice. I do apologize. Okay, so we have Missile Command. Now, I have played Missile Command. Missile Command is a really good game. But I've never read this because I stopped reading it because I got bored of it. So it's a shoot 'em up. The Missile Command game is really interesting. The dial-up version of the game that school children play by scratching lines across the back of their notebooks. Really, I didn't know that. Missile Command demands spatial reasoning, and ace timing. Nuclear missiles run down on the cities to stop them, must counterstrike from one of the ground's bases. Your defense missile bursts into a cloud, destroying anything caught in the radius. Fire blindly, though, and not only you will let you let a few warheads through, you'll also use up your stockpile, leaving you open to total annihilation. That is true, because if you just blow up your fucking stockpile up and you have no more stockpile and the round still goes, like that's the fucking scary part of the Missile Command. But then again, it is an arcade game, so it never ends. So the further you get down on Missile Command, the more bombs that shoot down, and the less bombs you have. But it's kind of scary, actually. As a piece of pop culture, Missile Command is preached between two eras. The promise can't help but evoke Americans' fears of Russian nukes. After all, just 3 years later, the day after would teach a television audience what radiation sickness looks like. Really? I did not know that. But the game's giant trackball interface anticipates the drawn of a mouse driven computing. Modern players will feel right at home, rolling cursor around the screen. Today, the game is trying position, but players in sharp eye can feel nostalgia for a time when we knew that the missiles would come from. Okay, so Missile Command I have played. I think it's a really good game. I think that I think when it comes to its time, the graphics are kind of outdated. So yeah, Rogue I've never played it. So let's read about it. Rogue's first appearance on College Unix systems in 1980. It contains infinite variety via a series of random generated. Oh, so now we're getting into the random generated. The ASCB, I think that's a B. Is it a B? No. It might be something else. The ASC rendered dungeons that must be explored in a bid to receive the amulet of yonder from someone beyond the 25th level. An unlikely achievement given the impossible difficulty of even the earliest dungeon layers. Practically no information is disclosed to the player, so every new game is a voyage of discovery, not just of the dungeons layout, but also of the monsters and items. Oh, okay. So it's like that game that I used to play. There's a game that I used to play that had the same concept of this video game, which I think is really interesting. Okay, practicing information. Okay, where were we? I've lost track. Practically no information is disclosed of the player. New game voice, not just the dungeon's layout, but also the notes of the within. Progression to the deeper parts of the dungeon is such a rarity that there are invincible, invisible new monsters to meet. Qual, qual, quick thing. I don't even know what the fucking word that is. Quadling potions. I know what potion is. And reading. Oh wait a minute, no. Potions and reading with scrolls along the way. I have to research that word. Is always a calculated risk. You might discover you've just gulped down a potion of strength. I you feel stronger. You feel stronger. What budgeting muscles? But you've gizzled a potion of blindness. A cloak of darkness falls. You can kiss goodbye. Chance of surviving to the later levels. Other obstacles include simply hunger, so it's got the same concept as fucking the Oregon Trail, which can wipe out even the bravest adventurers. Dead ends and a cruel variety of traps. Oh, that's fucking. That game looks fucking difficult. I do not want to play that. Jesus Christ. So now we gotta play. Now we gotta talk about Tempest. That's an arcade game, and it's from the Atari. Just to let you know, in these from the early 19 from the 1970s to the early 1980s, Most of these games are made from Atari because they were pretty much the main heavy hitter until Nintendo came out with Super Mario Bros. In 1985. So until we get to 1985, you ain't gonna. Most of these games are mostly gonna be made on Atari or an arcade system. So I just want to let you know that. So yeah, Tempest was born from an idea book of an and a nightmare hot off the success of Mystical Man. Dave Thornton. Oh, so it's the same guy. Oops, I fucked up. Whatever. Dave Northern was browsing Atari's books of games concepts and stumbled across the idea for a first person version of Space Invaders. He sketched out the concept, marrying it to the new technology of color vector graphics. Clincher though was the night the clincher though was the nightmare in which Theodore dreamed he was watching Hinder's monsters clawing way out of a hole in the ground. The idea is simple. You are a pilot of the claw, hanging at the top of the turn in space, spinning around the edge. You fire an array of fast moving monsters at you from the hole at the center. That's a really interesting concept, to be honest with you. Unique of Two Tempest was the game's control system. You navigate by rotating the cabin's paddle, a weighty, smooth moving dial that is both quick and precise. The controller makes the game thrilling, fast, and fluid. Okay, well, it's an arcade cabinet, so what do you expect? Allowing the player to strafe half the board with a flick of the wrist and then spin back to mop up survivors with a fearless steel nerve aim. Okay. So I've never played Tempest, never played Rogue, never played Emon, but I have played Missile Commando. I love Missile Command. Missile Command is like the best game out of all these three. And that's what my opinion is. You might have a different opinion, but I've never played the other three. So, yeah, I can confidently say that I've never played the other three. So, we did spoil up. So, we got Mud, and then we got Pac Man. I have played Pac Man, never played Mud. I don't even know what the fuck Mud is. It's an adventure game. I know what Pac Man is, but we'll do that next part. Because we just did four video games. So, I hope you guys have a nice positive day and all. Stay positive.